This week, there's been a TikTok that went pretty viral, and it features a young woman working at the front desk of a hotel, and she's struggling with a guest who's checking in, and his reservation is wrong. And it's not wrong because of a mistake that she made, and it might not even be wrong because of a mistake that he made, but there was an issue when he was checking in, and there's something to be said about what happened in that moment. She kept her cool. She listened, she showed empathy, she tried to offer, a solution. When she didn't have many to offer, the hotel was sold out. His response was not calm and collected. He was pretty angry and took it out on her. And I felt my blood pressure rising each time this video came across my sphere of reference this week. I spent over 20 years in the hotel, many of those hours at the front desk, and I've had those conversations and they feel awful. As the young woman in that scenario, I can relate to feeling like there's a situation that I can't fix and I want to fix it, but I'm also tired, and that might not have been the first uncomfortable conversation I had that day. And it feels like the guest's response is, it's not fair and it's ugly, and this is what's happening right now in 2022. This happens more often than we'd like to think about. So I wanted to share today a little nugget that I used to use when I was in situations like that. And I hope it inspires someone and maybe sparks further conversation. If this reaches you and you're a leader of hospitality people, recognize that they deal with this kind of scenario multiple times a day. And they keep coming back to work, right? They keep showing up, even though they know they're in the line of fire. And if this reaches you and you're one of those people at the front desk serving many guests a day and delivering 9 times out of 10 an amazing experience, know that these one-offs are not, they don't have to be the way that you remember the shift, the week, the month. When I was a brand new general manager, I went to a conference for my brand, and there was a breakout session, and the speaker in this breakout session introduced a concept that I carry with me to today, but I've modified it a little bit. So this woman was Rosamund Zander, and I didn't have any clue who she was at the time. But she was talking to this room full of engaged hotel managers about a concept that she and her then husband, Ben Zander, had created. And it simply means when you make a mistake or you screw up, instead of going, oh crap, or oh man, I really screwed that up, you say, oh, how fascinating. You don't just say it, you sort of lean into it. Oh, how fascinating. I don't know why that stuck with me, but over the years, I sort of tweaked it so that when I found myself in situations like this young woman at the front desk with a somewhat unruly guest, instead of feeding into the downward spiral of the conversation, I would, in my head and in my body language, go to, oh, how fascinating. What does that do for me in that situation? Well, A, it stops the negative conversation in my head. It makes me pause. Even though I'm still engaged with the guest, I am automatically just sort of disengaging from their negative behavior. It reminds me that there's a problem to be solved, and for me, that triggers like energy, like I want to fix this. It reminds me that we're not in this conversation because of something I did wrong. I can turn the script and I'm not feeling badly about my part of the conversation. Try it. Oh, how fascinating. Even the word fascinating, everything about you changes. And I offer that to you as a solution if you are in a guest service situation when you are just dealing with someone who isn't meeting you halfway. And maybe it happens one time during a shift, maybe it happens multiple times. And maybe you're not feeling the support of your leadership when you're in that situation. And for that, I am truly sorry. I hope this little trick can help you sort of get through that moment. And then when you're on the flip side, when they're gone, when they're checked in or when they've left, and you're back by yourself and you're sort of rehashing how that went down, remind yourself, it was fascinating. The person in front of you was fascinating. Their opinion, fascinating. I promise it will give you just a moment of clarity. I hope it gives you sort of the energy to go into the next conversation, to welcome the next guest without bringing that negative scenario with you. Try it. How fascinating. I'm fascinated by you. I'm Eleanor, and I inspire people.